Alrighty folks, the title of this message is Retards Are Us, and retards it be. We really live in the dark ages right now, and I just want to declare it like it is so that 50 years from now, 70 years from now, if Christ tarries, 100 years from now, people look back and are like, yeah, he was right. It was pretty bad. We were in darkness, and our education system was a joke. Our political scene was terrible. And every leader that we ever knew was not telling us the truth about Jesus Christ and God. Whew. Pretty bad. And so it is gross. We are leaderless. We don't have a single politician on the world stage today that speaks the name of Jesus, knows the name of Jesus, and knows Jesus well enough in order to talk about him in public. Not one. We have a generation of cowards, if you will, regarding the name of Christ. And obviously there's nothing new regarding the sinful nature of man, but we are at unbelievable proportions of silence regarding the truth and the name of Jesus. And we live in the most material, wealth-worshipping, and a sense of worldly material possessions, generation that ever lived. And there is very little concern for eternity, there is very little sobriety, and there is very little fear of God, and there is very little concern for all things that matter on your deathbed. So it's highly... You're just like, whoa, when did the children become so deceived? And when is this going to change? For the time being, let's tell it like it is. Let's be as truthful and honest as we're supposed to be in any situation. We currently live in the dark ages. Our leadership is a joke. Our politicians are a joke. No one is confessing the name of Jesus. No one is talking about the importance of the gospel in our school system. No one is championing the Bible and the words of truth that belong to God. I've shared a ton of Gematria revelations in thousands of videos online. Anyone can watch them worldwide. It's all the glory of God. Dig in, kids. There's more than enough truth, galore, and fascination and wonder and surprise and delight and discovery for everyone. But it shocks the pants off me continually. God is always there. He's always been there. He's ready to reveal everything to you if you seek him. I run into managers, leaders, bosses, people in this world that are older than myself, and they are clueless. They know nothing. They are not close to God, and that is because their own soul has not believed in him and has not desired him. God will reveal everything to you. He will show you everything. He will teach you everything. You will receive so much knowledge and revelation from God if you simply honor him, desire him, and give copious amounts of silent prayer time to him. He is not going back on his word. The promises have not changed from the dawn of time since God made them. If you seek him, you will find him. If you draw near to God, he will draw near to you. All of those promises are constantly being fulfilled. So what it says to me in this current generation is we have a generation of people that do not genuinely desire to get closer to God. Either they don't believe in him and they actually need some help to get there, or they simply don't want to draw near. I think a lot of people are scared. I think a lot of people actually genuinely don't believe and they've been lied to. And I think a lot of the indictment does rest upon fathers and the elders and people that, biological fathers that were supposed to teach us properly when we were younger, supposed to be well fed the knowledge of God and feed it to us with all inspiration. But alas, every soul answers unto themselves for all time. You come of age and you need to seek the Lord and find him and grow. Let's close this blind a little bit. But we, yeah, no, we currently live in the dark ages. I'm hoping and praying for a brighter day. Who knows, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, God willing. But we live in vanity central. Like when you just see how much money is thrown into entertainment, sports, athlete salaries. It's Hokieville. It's insanity. People don't have a higher purpose for which they live, and so they drink on distractions day and night, and disturbingly they give their money to these things. And money has never been funnier, like in terms of wickeder in the history of the universe. Printing presses at the hands of corrupt bankers. I don't even want to start talking about financial madness. But anyways, there's nothing new under the sun concerning the sinful nature of man without Christ. But I'm here to say that things are a lot worse than they've ever been in the history of the world. And the number one thing that's wrong is everyone is more enamored by this life than ever before. And how much you can see, how travel, build. People worship the works of their own hands. But now the works are a lot more complicated, and they're a lot more distracting, and they're a lot more intricate, and they occupy a lot more time. Nothing has changed. Man worshipped idols from the dawn of Eden. In his sin, you just have to go to the core. You go to the core of the sinful nature of man without Jesus Christ. And there is, idolatry. Oh, I worship the works of my own hands. I want to create something. It's unbelievable, the language. Oh, everyone's celebrating human creativity. We all need to create. You were born to just create, And, oh my gosh, just everyone with a dumb product, everyone with a dumb animation, everyone with a dumb amusement, and people just worship the works of their own hands. And, except now the works are a lot more complicated. Anyways, there is glory in what we can do. Obviously, I myself am using technology right now to convey this truth video. Obviously, video, all that, internet, blah, 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 blah. But we are far from God. It's our priorities that are wrong. We are very far from the knowledge of God, and our speech shows it. I love technology, I love sports, I love all the things that God created and that He has enabled us to partake of. But we are so far from the personal knowledge of God. We are so far from talking about God in public. We are so far from confessing the personal names of God in political circles, in educational circles. There's like a muzzle over mankind. People don't know about God. We know all sorts of things about work, about machinery, about production, about efficiency, about harvesting, about lying in marketing to collect from the markets. But we know very little about God, and we certainly don't talk about Him. That's a tragedy. And people are looking around wondering, where's the great philosophers? Where's the great men of God that are close to the Most High and actually have intelligence to share about Him? It's madness. It's idolatry. It's simply what it is. I fear that we have put so many things. We have given our minds and given our attention and given our hearts and given our lives to so many people and things other than God Himself. And people are worshiping people. Of course, that's not new. The first sin, way back in the Garden of Eden, is Adam chose Eve over God. Eve picked the forbidden fruit, and Adam said, I'd rather please my wife, and I love her beauty so much, I'd rather please this woman rather than God. And it's been that way ever since. My God. And so that's what I see everywhere. And I just want to be honest and declare the current state of the union. Yeah. Can you imagine a president giving the message that I just heard? By the way, folks, we're in darkness. Our educational system is a joke. And it is gross deception, because Satan wants you in darkness and not laying up treasure in heaven. Satan doesn't want you thinking about your deathbed. Satan doesn't want you thinking about, serving Christ and working for enough. But it's just outright foolishness. And God is not validating this kind of behavior with miracles. The reason there are no miracles, there are very few miracles happening in most people's lives in the modern, developed Western world, is because we are living in idolatry. We are simply loving and seeking and worshiping everything and everyone under the sun except God himself. And God is not validating this kind of behavior with miracles. His glory is not manifest through signs and wonders in our church gatherings. And certainly we have very few stories to tell of God's glory. All right, that's my rant. A true prophet and a true preacher. I love sharing the exciting Gematria personal gems that I'm getting from the Lord. I'll probably preach on some of the beauties of, I kid you not, I got some real fun stuff. Got some words from the Lord. Flower names, salvia, Dusty Miller, Gerbera daisy. God just revealing, it's not hard, it's very simple, but it's very special when you receive it for the first time, okay? That God has placed his personal names mathematically in very obvious ways in Gematria within all the names of everything that is named. God has been sovereign over the scientists and the people that have stuck names on all of his species, okay? And thank God there's still some good people in this world. I thank God for truth lovers. I thank God for knowledge lovers. I thank God for scientists. And I thank God for researchers. I thank God for pure-hearted teachers. This is amazing. God has a plan for these people. You know, like Paul the Apostle, he was such a fireball before he got saved and knocked off his horse. There's many good, honest, people that are trying to, that are following their heart concerning science and truth that God has a plan of salvation for. And he's actually using the work that they're currently doing as non-Christians, which is quite amazing. Yeah. So, I have to get the rant off my chest once in a while. When I experience filth, when I see filth, when I see the fruits of the devil's filth in the public sector, and I just feel like ranting and sharing it like it is, as much as I see it. And God help us to get better. All right. One thing I do strongly feel that God has been speaking to me about is satisfaction. That as his child, I'm called to satisfaction, and you will feel within yourself that you need to vent. You need to preach against garbage. You need to even speak against filth. It's an act of prophecy in private, okay? Every declaration by the human tongue against evil, whether in private or in public, is for the glory of God. And it's also producing spiritual change in the heavenlies. And so I'm pleased to do that. And remember, Satan is the enemy. He wants the whole human race dead, ugly, and pulverized. Okay? We're all on the same team in the flesh here. That's another lie of the devil. He wants people fighting with each other. We're all on the same team against the demons and the devil himself. Okay. So, anyways, I like to come to the words of the Lord in terms of beauty and stuff that I love to meditate on. So, flowers. We've got some awesome flower name revelations recently. I'll just preach them briefly from my head. I was at, for the story, I was at a Christian garage sale at Surrey Christian School with my sister. Beautiful Christian environment, raising funds for a missions trip. And flower by flower. Gerbera, okay, is pairwise I ams from the inside out. B-E-R-E-R-G-A. Bang. Flawless. Quadruple. Gerbera Daisy. Daisy, same deal. Dusty Miller. First time in my life I understood this. Dusty Miller ends in E-R, I am. And then the front is 135, which is Christ plus Father, love, love, half 11. You can find the Father, okay? It's the T-Y-M, excuse me, in the center, and then the rest is Christ. The ending is I am. Dusty Miller. These are world famous plants, like all over the world. And let's move on. Geraniums we solved the other day. My God, salvia is one of my favorite because it's the same letters as saliva. And the 3 at the front and the 3 in the back both parallel I am. They both equal 32. It's a flawless I am declaration in salvia, the flower, and saliva, same letters as in the saliva, your spit. And that's for the glory of the I am. S-A-L, 2 plus 1s, 1 letter divides by 3. Flawless match of I am. And God, by the way, same thing with the IVA on the end. And they equal the same thing. Sal, 32. Iva, 32. That's I am, 23 plus 9. It's all offsets of 3s for the Trinity. Saliva, I am, I am. Marigold, that was the one I am on the left. I am. GLD, I am verbatim, letter for letter in Marigold. And 33 left over. It's just, so we solved Marigold, and we've been solving flower names, and God blesses me to partake of these things, like after I've solved them, and I actually buy them and enjoy them in the home. So what else did I pick up? Geraniums, salvia, marigold, orchids we solved. Oh yeah, dahlia, very easy one. Dahlia, go to the center once again. The HL equals 20, parallels I am, and then the rest is a bonus 15. Dahlia equals 35, okay? It's a great number to parallel I am. It's I am plus 12. Kevin Durant's number. Anyways, I do not want to promote what's happening in sport. There's simply too much. Oh my gosh, there's too many things to preach against. But we are putting all of our time, all of our energy, all of our money, and all of our eyeballs, and all of our brains in all the wrong places. There's an exciting treasure hunt. There's Gematria for everyone to scoop up. And then there's many children worldwide to teach the truth of God. Like, I am channeling. I am sharing what God has shared with me in private, in prayer. It's Gematria. It's His personal names contained within all the names of everything in history, and it's an exciting treasure hunt, and the whole world is amazing. So I'm about to run out of memory chip. I might have to preach some more to get my fill, and so be it. We'll see how God leads me today. The river has to flow. You feel like you got so much to say, let it out. Just start channeling it out. That's the glory of God, your satisfaction. All right, more to come.